What up? Big Herc 916. Positivity, motivation. Never settle for average. Go to bigherc916.com, pick you up some merch, represent, and grab you a bar of soap while you're at it, and wash your ass. We just dropped some new bars that will be coming out next week, so make sure you grab you a bar. Man, 2024 Republican candidate Vivek Ramaswamy just served Don Lemon.
That war was fought for black people to have freedoms in this country. Yeah. Actually, that's why the Civil War was fought.
Okay.
And the sad part about it,
that wasn't fought for black people to have guns. I think.
Actually, you know, funny fact is, black people did not get to enjoy the other freedoms until their Second Amendment rights were secured. And I think that that's one of the lessons that we learned.
Black people still aren't allowed to enjoy the freedoms.
I disagree with you on that, Don. I disagree with you. And I think you're doing a disservice to our country by failing to recognize the fact that we have equality before the law.
When you are in black skin and you live in this country, then you can disagree with me. But we're not. You mentioned that we have three different shades
Don, I
of
think we have to be able
melanin
to talk about these issues in the open, regardless of the color of our skin. Black Americans today, to say that, compare that to 1865 and 1964,
I think for you to compare it to
absolutely
1865 and
have equal rights in
1964
this
is
country.
actually, I think it's insulting to black people. It's insulting to me as an African American. I don't want to sit here and argue with you because it's infuriating for you to put those things together. It's not right. Your telling of history is wrong. What
part of the history was wrong?
Man, I tell you, man, Don Lemon, man, me and you need to sit down, brother. We need to sit down and chop it up. If you really want to have a great conversation and get it from a black man who's been through the thick and thin of it, who's not a victim, who's lived it, holler at me, man. Holler at me, because, man, you put some real bullshit out there. Them cats at the news station, they got you on an old pedestal, man, and you serving it, but you serving it without the toast, man. You're full of shit.
Your telling of history is wrong.
What part of the history was wrong?
What part of the history was wrong? That the Civil War was fought. You're making people think that the Civil War was fought for black people, only for black people to get guns and for black people to have.
The Civil War was fought for black people in this country to get freedoms, a noble mission. And I think that even after we succeeded, we had to actually secure those freedoms.
To reduce it in a speech at the NRA to say you're making people think, or you're trying to say that black people to get guns, that was the reason that you're there at the NRA. That was the reason for the Civil War.
It is a fact.
That's reductive.
It's not
and
reductive,
I think it's
Don.
insulting. There are a whole plethora of reasons that for the Civil War.
With due respect, I find your explanation reductive and actually insulting, including to black Americans, to say that black people today, compared to 1964, 1865, haven't made progress in part because of the freedoms we secured. And the Second Amendment was part of what secured
hang on,
that
please.
freedom.
I cannot keep a thought if you guys are talking to me in my ear. So hang on one second. So to say that black people, say what you said again.
Black people secured their freedoms after the Civil War. It is a historical fact, Don. Just study it. Only after their Second Amendment rights were secured.
They were not secured their freedoms after the Civil War. That is not. You are discounting Reconstruction. You're discounting a whole host of things that happened after the Civil War when it comes to African Americans, including the whole reason that the Civil Rights Movement happened is because black people did not secure their freedoms after the Civil War, and that things turned around. People tried to change the freedoms that were supposed to happen.
And you know how they got it? They got their
and
Second Amendment rights, and they actually got the NRA played a big role in that. But today, Don, the
NRA did not play a big role in that.
They trained black Americans how to use firearms.
That's a lie. That's not. The NRA did not play a big role in that.
This is just historical fact.
It's not historical fact.
The part that I find,
because you say it's historical fact,
the part that I find insulting is when you say today black Americans don't have those rights after we have gone through civil rights revolution in this country.
You are sitting here telling an African American about the rights and what you find insulting about the way I live, the skin I live in every day.
Here's where you and I have a
the
different
freedoms
point
that
of view.
black and white that black people don't have in this country, and that black people do have.
Well, here's where you and I have a different point of view. I think we should be able to express our views regardless of the color of our skin. We should have this debate
I'm not saying you
without me regarding you as a black man,
insulting that
but
you're
me regarding you
here,
as a fellow citizen.
That you're
That's
sitting
what I think
here,
we should see.
whatever ethnicity you are, explaining to me
whatever ethnicity
about
I'm,
what it's like to be black.
Whatever
in America.
ethnicity I am, I'll tell you what I am. I'm an Indian American. I'm proud of it. But I think we should have this debate. Black, white doesn't matter.
I think we should have this
on
debate.
The content of the ideas.
If you're going to do it, you should do it in an honest way and in a fair way. And what you're doing is not an honest and fair way.
there's more opportunities right now for black people in general if they choose to take advantage of those opportunities and not be a victim. But for you to sit here and talk about what opportunities aren't available, you acting like the black culture is helpless. You act like there's no resilience among black men. We're just nothing without the liberal holding our hand, without the left giving us a handout. It's woe us. Yeah, man. But Vic Ramaswamy, hey, you ain't got to be black to talk about it, bro. You know what's up. You broke it down. I love the way this dude kept his composure, and Don was stumbling. He didn't know how to come back from my man Vivek. So he played the race card. Oh, man, you don't understand until you're in my skin. Dude, in your skin, you living a life. You living a life, dude. You're not in East Oakland. You're not in South Central. You're not in South Side Chicago. You're not, man. What are you talking about, bro? You living it up. You don't even know most of the people you claim that there's a struggle with. I had a friend that was similar to Don Lemon. Yeah, this friend, he used to talk about the black man struggles too, right? Just like Don Lemon, he would talk about the opportunities and how white man, whitey kept you from achieving your goals but he dated nothing but white women, and he used to make them watch Django. That was his first thing he'd do. He'd take these white women, and most of them were foreign, Europe, from somewhere in Europe, the Eastern Bloc, and he would get them and make them watch Django and Shaka Zulu. Don Lemon, you got Shaka Zulu at home too? Do you make your white friends watch Shaka Zulu? But yeah, this guy, man, he would talk about how racial things were. This dude was at the top of his field. He was making high six figures. He played tennis as an adolescent up through high school, got a tennis scholarship, went to a Jewish private school, and occasionally I guess would go visit cousins from that grew up maybe in a tougher part of town, and they would tease him, and he felt like he had to overexert his blackness to get credibility. And that's one thing I don't understand. When you are in a position where you're doing well for yourself, what are you trying to prove by putting yourself back into a situation where you want to relate to a struggle that you're not involved in? Nobody in the struggle wants to be in a struggle either. That's what you guys don't get. You guys who are on these network televisions or, working in these high power positions, don't nobody at the bottom want to be there. So you guys are really feeding this liberal bullshit, and none of these people want to be in these projects or in these positions where they got to hustle illegally and try to survive or deal with gang violence or deal with drama. They don't want to be in that position, man. For you to think that by putting yourself there, you're more relatable, you got more blackness, you're full of shit, man. You're full of shit. Just like my boy, he was full of shit. I used to tell him, man, what are you tripping off of? You drive a $150,000 car. You live in almost $1 million spot. You do what the hell you want to do. You travel the world. Man, you ain't no damn struggle, man. Ain't nobody white held you back. Quit your crying, man. Quit acting like a little bitch. Man, look. Black culture, they got them under the guise that they're so helpless, but they don't realize that blacks, man, you've overcome so much, and for you now to try to go and think that it was because of them that you got to where you're at. And you need them to continue to keep you on a string so that you can be led along. All they doing is jockeying for your votes, homie. Your votes and your politics. And you got a lot of race baiters out there that are playing off of that. Man, look. You name anybody. The black culture has a lot more resolve than these, far left liberals want us to believe, and they want to make them think like they're helping us. They ain't doing nothing but trying to put a pacifier in our mouth, man. Lyndon B. Johnson's whole implementation of the welfare program destroyed black families, set us back 100 years. There were more families in the household in the 1930s than there are currently today. So what does that tell you about the whole black families and how they basically destroyed the heart of what makes the nucleus the nucleus of the family? That was all by design, man. They were pushing people, as far as blacks and poor whites, into the welfare system during the 60s, and creating incentive for women to have babies out of wedlock, for the men not to be in the households. Man, this shit's a game, man. Don't buy that shit. Don Lemon, you gotta quit lying, bro. Put me on the show. Let's chop it up. Yeah, man. I'm a black man who grew up in America, bro. Been to the system. Born to a teenage mom, never met my dad. And I can't get a job, man. I can't get a job. And it's because of the white man, and there's no rights. And we shouldn't have any Second Amendment. Holler at me, man. Hello, my name is Big Kirk 916, and I'm with the Wash Your Ass Committee. And I'm traveling across America helping people wash their ass and get their booty holes clean. And I have with me here today Wash Your Ass Soap. And this one in particular is Butt Naked Scrub. But I also have Festival, Oatmeal Milk and Honey, Jamaican Me Crazy, Monkey Farts. And all these scents smell very good. They will help cleanse your body of funk and also make you feel better about yourself. So if you can go to bigkirk916.com, you can pick you up a bar. And my goal is to help America combat funk. Go to the Herc store at bigkirk916.com and pick you up a bar of soap so you can wash that ass, or pick you up some Never Settle for Average merch, or some of the Muscleup Car Lifestyle merch. We have hats, Never Settle for Average. Got the Muscle Up t-shirts. We also have the Never Settle for Average tank tops. Got the Muscleup Car Lifestyle hoodies. Got the beanie caps. Hey man, represent. And I know you guys aren't average, so pick you up some swag and step your game up. Hello, I'm Big Herc 916. Contact me for life coaching and motivational speaking.